This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3. Lovely.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Maastricht edition live on Facebook. Tonight we are joined by the lovely José Hermens from the Sint-Pietersberg Natuurmonumenten. We'll be discussing Earth Day, and we have our usual segments of This Day in History, Manco's Dutch, and Tracey's Tidbits, so stay tuned!
Yay! Good evening,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to the Maastricht edition. Here we are again on this glorious day.
I know. It's like we've jumped straight through to summertime.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What a nice idea. Yes. And of course, we've jumped through to summer and everybody's out and about. We're all hugging and swapping germs and saliva and all sorts.
Good times. Good times.
So yes, on tonight's show, we're going all naturey. We're going earthy. It's International Earth Day today. So,
Well, Mother Earth Day, yes. Hurrah!
yes. So yes, we're going to do earthy stuff. We've got an earthy guest. We've got earthy topics. So
Yes!
We
We're all
planned
about
this well,
Earth.
didn't we?
Yes, we did.
so if you feel that you yourself are a Mother Earth, then come and maybe come and share some gardening tips, possibly, or some recycling tips, or upcycling,
Nature
or
stuff. Yes.
nature. Maybe you've got some nature photographs out there. I know our Tracey is always taking photographs of the nature in and around Maastricht, some cracking photographs. And there is a lot to see, actually, isn't there, Tracey?
There is, you'd be surprised, city centre and all that, but there's a lot of green spaces in our lovely city of Maastricht, and I think I have been to all of them now several times, so I may have to start branching out of the province. Can you imagine leaving Maastricht? Oh my goodness! I know I rarely leave the city walls, but yes, there is lots going on, and it's bird season. I saw bees today. I saw a ladybug the other day. There's lots of sprouting going on, so it's a nice time, and the lovely sunny weather is of course adding to the positive vibes.
Yes, and the tulips are up. We've got lots of tulips that are starting to come up.
I wouldn't know. I forgot to plant the bulbs.
Oh dear. But what about from last year's tulips? You didn't throw them away, did you?
Well, no, they died during the snow and frost because I left them outside.
They should be okay.
I know, but I checked them and they had rotten. They really had rotten through. So I would have given them a chance, but they sadly they didn't make it. So, but I do have some nice geraniums and a little hortensia that's blooming. So that's something. And I've got some new lavender plants which smell so lovely. So really, really nice. So all is not lost.
Of course. And normally at this time of the year, people would be gearing up to go to Kokenhof up in the north, but sadly it's closed this year, which is a real shame. Matt, have you been to Kokenhof?
I have. It was insane.
Oh.
I've never queued outside to walk through a garden before. Basically, the whole thing is a queue. You're just walking in a queue all the way around. But it's beautiful and lovely, but don't go during the weekend.
No, that's good advice for most
go
things.
midweek in the morning, I assume is the best time to go.
Yeah.
Well, don't go this year.
No, don't go.
No, you won't get in. Well,
You'll be very disappointed.
yeah, indeed. Although good news for us, next week on our show, which will be the last one of April, we'll be able to talk about how terraces have opened again.
Yes.
I'm skeptical, I'll be honest.
Oh, really? It's been announced. It's in the news.
Well, they did say that they were going to confirm next week, so they may actually backtrack, of course. You never know, because the numbers have been a bit
Because
dodgy.
today was the highest number of cases since beginning of January, so I'm just like, maybe not the best one.
Well, I've gone for the positive slant, and I'm trusting what was said last Tuesday. So let's see. Who knows what we'll be discussing next week?
I tell you what, Matt, if they don't open it, I think our Tracey's going to be sending a sternly worded email to Mr. Mark Ritter. You said.
Dear Mr. Ritter. Oh, naughty, naughty. Well, we shall
Again,
see.
you said on the 21st we would all be free to go.
It would be nice, though, I think, especially for the restaurants and cafes, if they could indeed, even if it's only 12 till 6, and if the weather is like this, I mean, it really will be nice. But of course, it could all backfire. I mean, I believe in the UK they're back on terraces now, but already people they're going wild. Yeah. Having a pint of brew down the local. Oh, man, remember those days.
Patio wine.
Oh.
Well, we can do that in our own gardens and terraces too.
We can. This is
Lovely
very
weather,
true.
so
This is very true. So to celebrate Mother Earth Day, Matt, you've got something to share with us. What have you got?
I do. I have giant sunflowers, which I'm very excited about because I've never grown them before.
They don't look very giant at the moment.
They're growing so quickly. I only planted them last Monday.
No.
Yeah, they grow so quickly. I'm like,
were they seeds when you planted them?
They were. And now this one.
God! What are you feeding them?
It's like little shop flowers.
This one is already like, what is that, 15 centimeters?
Jeez.
So they are great fun. And every morning I come in and go, oh, have they grown again? And they've just grown these new leaves too. So I'm very excited about them.
That's really impressive.
Are you talking to them, Matthew? Because they do say speaking to plants helps them grow.
They live in the home office, so I suppose they hear us talking all day.
Okay, well, good conversations then.
Maybe a little piano?
Yeah, they'll hear the piano. Yeah.
Plants do they
Maybe that's what it is. So, Tracey, what have you got?
Well, I've gone a similar route. I've got, from our garden, this little pot of, sort of, I'm not quite sure what you call it, but this is actually a little plant that is especially for your garden to attract bees and butterflies.
Oh.
And this was planted not that long ago, but it's already grown. Not as impressive as Matthew's seedlings, but hopefully this will grow and it will produce little flowers and things. And fingers crossed, it will draw some butterflies and bees to the garden. So very important, our insects people. Look after your insects. So that's what I've got this evening.
Fantastic. Well, I do, believe it or not, I actually have something similar. And it may not look like it, but this card has flowers in it.
Oh.
It's got seeds in it. If I turn it around, if you don't see if I hold that up close, can you see there's little bumps in it maybe?
For human. Yes, I know these. This is very cool. You plant the paper in the earth.
Yes.
It's right.
Yes. This is a shameless plug, so I do apologise. But the shop that I have for selling my fabric designs, when you order from them, they are, for this month only, they're sending this with your order. Ooh. And as I recently ordered some of my own fabric, I got this in the post today. So, actually, I've got about 3 of these now. So I'm going to plant these, and I'll keep you updated. It's going to be wildflowers, apparently.
Oh, how lovely!
So I've got to find the right spot in the garden. I shall plant them, and we'll see what happens. And I shall give you regular updates as to what the flowers look like.
Very nice too. I'm thinking maybe when the summer really kicks in, we could potentially do our show from outside.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be cool, guys?
Maybe we could do it from my garden with the wildflowers in the background.
Exactly.
And the peacocks.
And yes, it's funny you should mention the infamous peacocks. There was a couple of them that had escaped again recently. And they were on my doorstep. They know a good thing.
Did you feed them?
I'm starting to worry that these peacocks are not happy where they're living, and they're looking for help.
Take us in, Joe. Take us in.
Do we need to investigate where they're living right now? Is this a reputable person who has these peacocks?
It is actually. They keep all kinds of birds there, but you know what? This wouldn't be the first time that I've had particular guests turn up because they like a hug from Joe. So
we all love a hug from Joe. I mean, you can just vanish and getting enveloped in there.
Exactly.
It's been a long time. I haven't had a hug from Joe for nearly 2 years.
God, yeah, it's been so long.
Gosh.
I know it has.
It has been a while, hasn't it? Yes. So that's all I can put it down to. Right. I really don't know.
Well, try giving them a hug next time, and maybe you'll appease them, and they'll feel they got what they came for. So
when in doubt, hug a peacock. T-shirt.
Taking note of it, this list, guys, is enormous at this point. And sometimes I do refer to the list and I'm like, what on earth were we talking about? Let's hope some of our regular viewers can keep up.
Yes, let's hope so. Let's hope so. So I think it's probably time for us to go on to Matt's review. Of course, this is the time of the week when Matt gives us his review of an album that either myself or Tracey have picked.
Yes.
And last week I picked an album for Matt, which was an Elton John album. Now, considering how long Elton John's been going for, I could have quite easily have picked something from the early 70s, from the 80s, and the 90s. I mean, there's just so many of them. There's so many of them. And a lot of people really do like his early stuff. That's a big favourite period of his work for many people. But I didn't. I went a little bit later. I've gone for an Elton John album that I think personally is probably one of his best albums that he's done for years and years. It's a very personal album, talking about his life at the time when things were changing for him, and with his relationship with David and so on and so forth. So songs from the I forgot what it's called now. What was it called?
Songs from the West Country, is it?
West Coast. That's it. Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
There you go.
Songs from the West Coast. Matt, you had a chance to listen to it this week. What did you think?
Well, I'm not a big Elton John fan. And this album didn't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I mean, I like some of the songs. I'm not a big fan of his sort of like, I don't know, like sort of ballady sort of style. And I felt that a lot of the songs sort of sounded very similar. So I don't know. I feel like I should like Elton more because he gives so much to our community, the gay community, etc. Yeah. But I just don't. I'm sorry, Elton. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but musically, it's not my thing.
Okay.
But I did like some of the songs. There was a couple of fun ones. There was one with Lulu, I think. That one was quite fun. And there was some that were more sort of, I don't know, more sort of country, less sort of ballad. So yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay. I think for me it was definitely more about the lyrics with this one because of things that were going on in his life at the time, which kind of resonated, I suppose. But yeah, I'm a huge Elton fan anyway, and I've seen him live in concert a few times, and I think he's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so I assume you were cooking at the time.
I was cooking. Yeah.
Oh, what a shock!
I was cooking nut balls.
Nut balls.
Nut balls.
Tracey, I don't know if we should ask.
I wasn't sure. I thought I had a bad connection there.
Vegetarian meatballs made from nuts.
Oh right, well done. Okay. Beef veggie. Were they good?
They were very good. And then today before the show, I left them in the oven too long, and they came out black. That's why I was late.
Never good to burn your balls.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
I just realised what I said there.
That's definitely a T-shirt, Tracey.
That one right. I'll write that one down.
But I mean, she is absolutely right, Matt. It's never good to burn your balls.
No, I totally agree.
And I certainly would feel that the Maastricht edition maybe should put this public health warning out there to everybody. It's never good to burn your balls.
It's a service we could provide. I mean, maybe some people don't know.
Yeah, maybe they don't. It's true. Maybe, and if this is something that people feel that they want to discuss more, drop us a line. We're more than happy to discuss.
Switchboard, lights up. I'd like this. How did we get onto this? My goodness, poor Elton.
But I was cooking.
It wasn't Elton's balls that were burning. It was.
No, gosh, no.
No. Oh dear. We're going off at a complete tangent. So, how many Matthews out of 10 for the album?
Sorry, little Tubbs. That was little Tubbs there, people. He just popped by to say hello, apparently.
So it was a mixed bag, and I had a thought about it. And also, people criticizing me for not being harsh enough.
Who are these people?
So I decided to give it a 4.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Elton. I like you as a person, but musically, yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
That's the lowest score
yet
in this Sunday Sounds album review segment.
Oh,
dear.
Ooh.
To be fair, I did say a while ago I was trying to find an album that he actually. So we're getting in the right direction, possibly.
Well done. Yes.
Okay, so you give it a 4. Fine, fair enough. For next week's review, then Tracey's going to pick an album. What have you got for Matt? Tracey?
Oh yes, I've got. Let's see. This could bomb completely. I've chosen another live album for our Matthew. The previous one was Johnny Cash live at Folsom Prison, but this week I've gone for something a little bit more modern. It's actually from it's not that modern, 1994, but it's a little closer to slightly where we are now. This is an album from a band that was hugely popular at the time until sadly their lead singer passed away. This is back in the day when MTV was quite the place to perform. And I've chosen for you, Matthew, an album which is an MTV unplugged session live in New York City. Oh, Joe already knows. And I've chosen for you the album from Nirvana. Now, Matthew, this album, this is a really good album. So I'm sure you like this. It's not terribly long. There's only 14 songs on there, but of course it's a live album, so there's a bit of chit chat and stuff. If you listen to one song, listen to song 14, which is the song "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," which is just amazing. But this is the one I've chosen for you for next week. So the lovely Kurt Cobain MTV Unplugged Nirvana album. So have a listen and let us know what you think.
What sort of music is Nirvana?
Oh God, Joe, how can we describe Nirvana?
I thought it was heavy metal, but it's not heavy metal.
Grunge rock originally, as it was kind of, I suppose,
grunge described as.
But this, because it's the unplugged, it's acoustic. He's playing sometimes just alone, just with the guitar. So it's a slightly maybe softer version. But yeah, grunge, rock, indie, pop, it's a mix of everything really. But they were traditionally a grunge band when they came out with Nevermind and Smells Like Teen Spirit, which some people have been known to mosh to back in the day.
And of course, it's where my not-so-secret love, David Grohl, started out as the drummer in Nirvana before he became the frontman of the Foo Fighters, of course. But there was a big hoo-ha about this concert at the time. You know, this unplugged thing. There was a series of unplugged concerts that MTV hosted. And even though they were called unplugged, of course they weren't unplugged. They weren't still plugged in. They were just kind of a toned down version. It was intimate, Tracey. Yeah, it was just a smaller version, a quieter version, and this when this came out, everybody was talking about it. Everybody was playing this album. It was but everybody loved Nirvana at that time, so
they did.
They couldn't do a thing wrong. And then shortly, it is a good album. And then shortly after that, of course, we lost Kurt, which is a very, very sad day indeed. But yes, if that hadn't happened, maybe Dave Grohl would never have formed the Foo Fighters, of course. Who knows? So, but there you go. So there's your album for next week.
Okay.
I think you might like it. But yeah, if it turns out to be too quiet for you, you could always get the original studio albums, and it'll be a lot louder for you.
Okay.
Just listen to Nevermind, the album, instead, if this is too soft.
Yes, exactly.
But have a listen. I think you'll really like it. It's a very raw. It's very emotive, and he is fabulous.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff. Well, of course, we've still got Tracey coming up with the news at 7:30, and our guest from Natuurmonumenten is going to be coming up very shortly, talking about
Hope you can join us.
Yeah, for those of you who've been following the Maastricht edition for some time now, you know we've got to think about owls here, and the guys at the Natuurmonumenten always tell us about what's been going on with the owls. Yes. So we will be finding out more about that later. But I think now it's probably time for us to chill down a little bit, time to relax, maybe get into a nice comfy chair, maybe open up that glass of wine, bottle with get a glass of wine, relax, put your feet up. There you go. Oh, look, see, you're all ready to go. Excellent.
We're well trained, Joe.
You're so reliable. You're so reliable. And as we get into our Zen-like moment, it is now time for This Day in History. Oh, was that a drum roll?
Yes, that was me. It was like feeling the bongos kind of a vibe.
The bongos?
No? Oh, God. Next week, I'll bring my bowron. That could be interesting. My bowron.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something about bowls.
Bowron. It's the little round drum that...
Yes, the Irish drum.
You know, this I have one. So I shall use that next week for this segment.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's something to look forward to. Maybe we can give her a review on that one, Matt.
A quick review, it'll be do-do-dump, and that's it. But anyway.
Some of my best moments in my life have been over in a few seconds, I can assure you. So.
Go on, do your segment, dear.
I'm not going to name any names. So here we are. It is Thursday, the 22nd of April already. Yes, and I think we can safely say we are definitely in springtime. But on this day in the year 1500, which is going back a little bit, Pedro Alvarez Cabral is the first European to discover Brazil, landing near Monte Pascoal and claims it for Portugal. And it's been... They've been speaking Portuguese ever since. In 1692, on this very day, Edward Bishop is jailed for proposing flogging as a cure for witchcraft in Salem, Massachusetts. Now,
Lord,
I know. Well, it is very well documented, of course, that some very nasty things happen to certain people, generally female, who were accused of being witches. And actually, I've got a little quiz here that I thought we might have a go at, just to see if you are a witch or not.
Oh no! Do I float in water? If I'm a witch, may we burn her? Oh, this is when I go into my Monty Python bit, and if Jason were here, he'd be completely playing along. But carry on, Joe.
Oh, thank you very much. Right, so I want you to take note, okay, of how many yeses and nos that you say to this, okay? And I'm going to ask both of you, okay? So the first one is quite simple. Are you female?
No.
Yes. Oh God.
Last time you checked, anyway.
Yes.
Do you have any pets?
Yes. Oh dear.
Do you live alone?
No.
No.
And be honest with this one. Have you ever asked for charity?
No.
Don't think so.
No.
Have you ever fallen out with your neighbours?
Yeah.
Oh!
That's
No.
happened.
I'm still only on 2 yeses. I'm keeping count.
Okay. Have you ever uttered vague threats?
Yes.
Have you ever told people's fortunes or given herbal remedies?
No.
Yes.
Do you have a vivid imagination?
Yes.
So how many yeses is that?
Well, officially 5 for me.
I had 3.
Okay, so for Matt, apparently you're raising concerns.
Oh God, Matthew.
Your answers show that you would not have been immune from an accusation of witchcraft during the early modern period, although not all accusations led to trial. Even the smallest suspicion cast against you could have resulted in a visit from the local witch finder.
Wow.
Tracey, how many were you?
5 for me.
Oh, you're highly suspect.
Oh God.
It's clear that an accusation of witchcraft against you would have been highly likely.
Well,
Such an accusation would have seen you subjected to a number of witch tests, some of which may have involved informal torture.
Well, what the hell is that? Versus formal.
Informal torture is witch pricking.
Okay, this does not sound good for Tracey.
It's the method of piercing the skin to find areas of flesh that do not bleed.
Oh.
God.
And if you lived in Scotland, where the use of torture was once permitted, you may have been subjected to sleep deprivation, thumbscrews, and leg crushers until you confessed.
Good grief.
I know.
Well, thank goodness we live in the modern age.
I tell you what, Matt, it could explain a few things, couldn't it? In 1817, on this very day, Curaçao prohibits use of white paint due to fierce sunlight.
Okay, because it would blind people, I suppose, would it? I don't know.
1823, RJ Tyres patents the roller skate.
Oh, yes, the roller skate.
Right, Matt, have you roller skated?
Never.
Tracey?
I really don't. I don't think I want to be friends with
I
Matthew
had
anymore.
terrible balance. It would do an
Oh,
awful
God.
Yes, but in my day, we had 4 wheels, one in each corner on my roller skates when I was a kid. We didn't have these in-blade jobbies that they have.
No, I have both roller skated and I even owned a pair of roller skates, which I begged my parents for one Christmas. And I had a beautiful pair that had 4 wheels on each side and a little thing at the top.
The rubber at the front.
Stand up and
Yeah.
do like sort of a little cruise thing. I was pretty good. I could also skate on one leg and stick my other foot out while rolling.
Oh.
I know.
There is no video of this, or is there? Let's.
I have destroyed it with my witchcraft, so it's not there anymore.
Well, I was terrible at roller skating. I really was. I mean, I was just I launched myself and just kept going most of the time. I was very, very bad at stopping. But yes, I did have some roller skates for a while. And we did have, in Southend, we had a place called Roller City that was built. It was a roller rink that we had there. And me and my mother used to go there. My mum used to whiz past me, pirouette and do all these kind of stuff on roller skates. And I was holding on to the side. All my friends used to laugh at me because my mother was so much better than me. But yeah, I did it for a while.
They were quite thick at one time, roller skating. People would go on a Friday night to the roller.
Yes. We used to have the music, there was food, they were the restaurant. Get this, you had to go upstairs to get to the restaurant.
How?
Skates.
Well, you'd stand on the little rubber thing.
You had to do. And of course, I was really good at it. They used to run down 2 or 3 steps at a time, and I'm like an old woman. I'm not to the bastard trying to get at the top. Anyway. Moving on swiftly. In 1979, the Rolling Stones played 2 benefit concerts for the Canadian National Institute for the Blind in Oshawa, Ontario. This was, in part, of a sentence for a heroin conviction of guitarist Keith Richards. So because he was a naughty boy, the whole band had to play a benefit concert.
God, because he'd been a very naughty boy.
He'd been a very, very naughty boy. On this day in 1981, more than $3.3 million is stolen from the First National Bank of Arizona in Tucson, in the then largest US bank robbery in history.
Wow.
In 1994, ice skater Tonya Harding sues her ex-husband Jeff Gillooly. Oh, that's a name. Gillooly. She sued him for $42,500. That doesn't sound like much to me.
No, it doesn't sound like much, and it's a very specific number as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bizarre. And on this day in 1994, in Denmark, the largest lollipop weighing, this doesn't sound right.
Yes.
No, really? 1,500 kilos.
Good grief!
How'd you get that on your mouth? Oh.
Oh, t-shirt.
Taking note.
How do you get that in your mouth? I mean, really, that's huge. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you. Right, birthdays. On this very day in 1936, Glenn Campbell was born, the American country pop singer. There's an album probably in there somewhere, Tracey, for our Matt.
Yes, indeed. Bit of country. We haven't done really country yet.
Wichita Lineman, excellent. Jack Nicholson was born on this day in 1937, the American actor. Paul Carrack, one of my favourite singers, was born in 1951. And in 1977, Mark van Bommel, the Dutch footballer, was born. And I believe there's a very special birthday going on today.
Oh, yes, Jacob's birthday. Happy birthday, Jacob.
Good job, Matthew. Happy birthday, Jacob. Oh, I also have a birthday request to send out. Sadly, if life were normal, I would be leaving for Ireland tomorrow for the weekend because my parents are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on Monday next, the 26th. And it's also my mother's birthday on the same day. So sending them happy birthday and anniversary wishes.
Absolutely. From all of us here at TME and anybody else who's celebrating a birthday this weekend, have a lovely day, however you're going to be celebrating it. And that was this day in history.
Look at Matt's fabulous clap.
Thank you very much.
So
right, time is moving on. I think we probably should have the news, don't you?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
The news with Tracey Taylor.
Thank you, Joe, and good evening, everyone. It's April 22nd, and you're watching the Maastricht edition on Facebook Live. First, a look at your weekend weather, and the coming days will remain dry and bright with plenty of sunny spells. Daytime temperatures will reach up to 15 degrees. However, there is a still chance of freezing at night. Moving to your news bulletin for tonight. In a press conference earlier this week, the Dutch government announced that as of April 28th, the curfew would be lifted and outdoor terraces can open again from 12 till 6 p.m. with a maximum of 50 people. People will also be allowed to have 2 guests at home per day instead of the current limit of 1. And shops will be allowed to admit customers without appointments. This is, of course, pending COVID-19 results in the coming days. The Netherlands has around 17 million inhabitants and has recorded 1.3 million COVID-19 cases and 16,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic. U.S. pharmaceutical company Pfizer has said that it has identified counterfeit versions of its coronavirus vaccine in Mexico and Poland. The doses were seized by authorities in the 2 countries and confirmed to be fake. The World Health Organization has warned that fake vaccines pose a serious risk to global public health. Dutch trains will return to the normal timetable in phases as of May 3rd. The expectation is that by mid-June, 98% of NS trains will be running again. According to the railway company, these measures are necessary because more passengers are expected on trains given the relaxation of COVID-19 rules announced by the government. In a virtual Earth Day summit, President Biden will announce that the world's largest economy will cut emissions blamed for climate change by 50 to 52% by 2030. The EU has also adopted ambitious new targets to curb climate change with a pledge to make them legally binding. Under a new law agreed between member states and the EU Parliament, the EU will cut carbon emissions by at least 55% by 2030. The Netherlands is home to around 3 million cats and 10,000 feral cats and strays. Between them, the cats kill around 18 million birds a year and pose a threat to some 370 species. A city ecologist has said that keeping cats in at night will help keep younger birds safe, especially now that the breeding season is in full swing. And he has suggested a kitty curfew starting at 8 p.m. And with the Eurovision fast approaching next month, Australian Eurovision entrant Montaigne will not be able to fly to the Netherlands for the 65th edition of the Song Contest due to travel restrictions imposed by the Australian government. The 25-year-old singer will instead participate through a live on-tape performance. In other news, animal welfare organisation House of Animals has begun a protest against Marktplaats for illegal dog trade adverts on their site. House of Animals wants Marktplaats to stop facilitating the illicit dog trade by banning advertisements. The organisation estimates that every year 80,000 puppies are brought to the Netherlands illegally. In local news, the high-speed tram between Hasselt and Maastricht now threatens to become considerably more expensive in terms of the infrastructure needed and the construction of the 10 trams. The threat of cost overrun is due to the fact that only one candidate is left for the 2 assignments. And finally tonight, Dutch high street giant Hema has teamed up with Amsterdam brewer Lowlander to develop a special tompouce flavoured beer. By all accounts, the beer has a fresh, creamy taste and is a milkshake-style blonde beer. With a summery sensation, the beer comes packaged in a cheerful pink can. Perhaps something to enjoy during a sunny King's Day next week. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow RTV News in English on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht Edition. And if you want to discover events, concerts and cultural activities going on in Maastricht and the surrounding areas, head on over to the website of our partner, maastrichter.com, to check out their awesome calendar of events. You can also follow them on social media. And don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, on Redbubble and on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
Lovely. Nicely done now, Tracey.
Thank you, darling. Tom,
sorry,
please.
I've got to bring it up. Yeah, come on. I mean, really.
That was an April Fool's joke.
No, this is the thing. It was, but apparently it's not.
So people were like, yes, do it, make it real. And they were like, okay, sure.
Yes, this is the thing, because I also thought, is it true? And apparently it was announced on April 1st. And I thought, oh, it's just a load of nonsense. But apparently it's, I checked nos.nl, pretty reliable source, and it seems that it is a real thing. And it's available in only certain stores.
It sounds disgusting. For our viewers out there who maybe come from outside of the Limburg area, tompouce, it's
a custard slice.
It's a custard
slice, I suppose. Yeah, that's probably it's not quite custard, but it's custardy. It's a creamy custardy kind of filling and a slice, and it's and
I love a tompouce. And I love a beer, but together I'm not sure.
No, I'm definitely not sure. I'm sure. No, I'm sure. I am definitely sure. This sounds horrible.
However, if the Amsterdam brewery Lowlander would like to send me a couple of cans to try out, I'll have to do that. Guys,
oh my goodness, yeah, that's it's an acquired taste for sure.
Then we can make our own blender, blonde beer, tompouce.
Yeah. Mix it up, give it a stir.
Won't be so difficult, can it?
Indeed.
Anyway, let's get our guest on board. Maybe she could enlighten us as to whether that's a good idea or not. José Hermens is in the house. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Yes, fine.
Lovely to see you again.
Yes.
Did you hear what we were just talking about there? This beer that tastes like tompouce.
Yes, I like the tompouce from the Hema, yes.
But that's it, not with the beer.
A beer, yes. When the sun is shining on the terrace, yes.
As long as they're separate, not mixed together.
No.
It all all sounds a bit nasty.
Very
So, of course, you're here to talk about the Natuurmonumenten here in Maastricht, although it is a national organisation, but you're talking about what's going on here in the Maastricht region. We have had you on before, of course, but for those people who maybe haven't met you and don't know what it's all about, maybe you could give us a bit of background of the whole organisation.
Okay. Yes, I'm a forester. I'm a ranger for Natuurmonumenten in the south of Limburg. And but we're an organization for the whole Netherlands, from Texel to Zeeland and to Maastricht to Groningen. It's everywhere. You can see it. The yellow and blue signs with Natuurmonumenten on it. We keep our nature. We protect nature. But also culture, a lot of buildings, old buildings most of the times, and you can enjoy nature or culture or stay with us. Yes.
Excellent. So where exactly are we talking about in Maastricht? Because we're not talking about the city centre, of course.
No, the Natuurmonumenten owns most of the parts of the Mount Sint-Pieter, Sint-Pietersberg. It's near Sint-Pieter, the Luikerweg, perhaps you know. The Luikerweg, Mount Sint-Pieter, and also the quarry, of course. Mm-hmm. And then till the Belgian border, and then it's, of course, no Natuurmonumenten anymore.
I'm glad you brought up the quarry, actually, because, of course, for a lot of people, you say, oh, let's go and have a walk around the quarry. You're not necessarily thinking about nature.
No, it doesn't sound like nature, but because it's the marblestone mining stopped in 2018, and it already went to nature. Parts of it, like the Eagle Valley, is already from 2010 already starting nature. So it's all 11 years going a beautiful place for nature, and it's blank. It has no start. It has no beginning of nature. It's pure. It's they call it pioneer nature. So everything comes there by wind or whatever, and it exists. It's growing and growing and growing, and the water, of course. For growing, you need water, but there is a lot of water. It's too much water, so we are pumped the whole time. We pump the whole time water. You know the word pumping?
Yeah.
Yes. So to let go the water away, because the mass is higher than the quarry.
Oh, really?
And the levels, you mean?
That's quite an undertaking, actually, isn't it? So
yes.
is that going continuously?
Yes, 24/7, 12 months. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Else you can't walk there. You have to swim like.
Oh, wow. You know, that could be fun as well, but probably easier to walk, I expect. Wow. Yeah. So lots going on. Yeah. I'm trying to think, José, when it was the last time we spoke with you, but I guess it's at least over a year ago, I think. And
I think about, yes.
Even longer. So much must have happened in the meantime. Are there any special new things? I understand that you've up around Fort St. Peter, there's now a new walking area for people who perhaps are less physically abled or in a wheelchair, which is very interesting to hear. What other types of new things have you guys implemented in the last while?
Yeah, last year, yes. Together with the Belgian, you can start from Cannes. You know Cannes?
Yes.
The Belgian border. There is a walking route from Cannes to Chalet den Observant, to the quarry, or vice versa, of course. And they made the walking route. It's the purple one. It's about 7 kilometers. It's a lovely place, a lovely part of the Sint-Pietersberg, but also a part of Cannes, so you can have a drink as well.
Hurrah!
Music to our ears.
That's important, that when you walk, you have to go to
You have, yes, yes,
to
you
the
have, yeah,
toilet or
It's
whatever.
nice to have the reward if you do
Yes.
7 kilometer walk. It's nice to have a
you have to
refreshment.
keep
every day.
hydrated.
Very important, Joe.
We are
Very important.
told this all the time.
Yeah, of course, you can at the Chalet de Observant. There is a lovely surplus, the Citroën car. You can drink coffee, of course, as well. It's also a lovely place to have a drink at that purple walking route. And but it's a new one. And now you can go to Belgium again. It's
Yeah,
perhaps for somebody a new start.
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I had heard
Yeah.
that you have a new shepherd, but this says to me that there is sheep, and I
There-
wasn't aware that there were sheep. So what's going on there then?
Oh yes, we have several times we have sheeps, and we need sheeps because they work at the mountain, and they are our grass eaters.
Uh-huh.
Nature's lawnmowers.
Yes, they have to work. They have to work every day, and it's a special race, sheeps. It's there are a lot of them, and now they have little ones, and every day they're still born.
Oh,
Every day he comes to the sheeps, he sees new one borns.
Wow.
So lovely.
I love lambs. They're such cute
so
little fellas.
bouncy.
Yes,
They are quite fancy, yes.
yes. But we have a new shepherd. His name is Maarten, and he lives in Maastricht. And he's now exploring Sint-Pietersberg. And he learns every day. But he loves the Sint-Pietersberg. And also with his family, he walks there. And every week I have him on the phone because of the corona. We don't see him every time, but on the phone, of course. And perhaps tomorrow I see him again. They are now around the fort, and every week there's some place else on the Mount St. Peter. They don't stay at one place. They go around the whole year, also in the quarry, because else in the quarry there comes a forest.
Okay.
Yes.
So what else do you do with them? Do you use their wool as well?
No, it's not so very beautiful wool. No,
Oh.
it's our Margelands sheeps, and they are very well in eating the grass at the kalkgraslanden. They're called kalkgraslanden. It's very special graslanden, and they have beautiful flowers, and you need them, the Margelands sheeps, and the wool is not so fine, and the meat.
So they're a local breed then.
Yes, it's Limburg. Yes. Yeah. It's a special breed, and we how do you say it in English? My Italian is better. We keep this special race also. How do you say it? You maintain it.
You breed them.
Yeah.
But you're preserving this race of sheep, these Margelands sheep.
Yeah.
Okay.
They work for us, but we also
So it's a conservation project as well then.
as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
I'm a little sad.
With Maarten. He's very nice.
Yeah. We like a shepherd on the show, so yeah.
Oh, I'll ask him. I don't know if he. Shepherds are not.
No, that's fine. But we'd love to see some pictures of the newborn lambs. That's for sure. Because anything cute and fluffy goes a long way on this show. I can tell you that.
Talking about cute and fluffy, could you tell us if the eagle owls, have they had any chicks yet?
If they have any
Chicks, any babies?
chicks, babies, you mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Not yet. Still not yet. They are very late. Always in Maastricht, the eagle owls. They are late ones. It's much too cold now.
Okay.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
But we're expecting again this year, yeah?
Yeah, other ones in Holland or else, they are earlier. But in here in this Mount St. Peter, in the Ooo-hoo Valley, it's always late. They're always late.
They're taking their time. They're taking their
time.
I was up at the Fort St. Peter's walk area quite recently, and I was thrilled to see some kestrels flying about. Do you guys have a lot of roof vogels, wild birds up in the
Yes,
area?
yes. A lot of them in the, how do you call them? The torenvalk.
Yeah,
Torenvalk. Do you know the
yeah.
torenvalk?
Falcons.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
torenvalks, but also the slechtvalk. Slechtvalk. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big one. Also in the city of Maastricht and at the colonel, he's breeding.
Wow.
It's and in the at the Vrijthof, I think he's breeding as well. It's a big one, like the eagle owl, and
Yeah.
he's coming also in the quarry, and they try to do the how do you say it? They tease each other.
Okay.
Like a mating ritual.
Ooh.
Yes, like
So,
like a play, like a
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, lovely. So,
Great,
of
great.
course, this past year, you're going to be one of the only places that's actually stayed open for people to visit.
Yes, we recognize that. Yes, very much. It was very nice that people can go to nature, of course, in this last year. And a lot of people became a member of
Oh,
Natuurmonumenten.
that's good.
Yes, we like that very much. It's very important, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also big problems because of a lot of people. You have people who walk and people who leave garbage.
Oh,
And now, especially in breeding time, it's breeding time. And
mm,
you mentioned it already.
Yeah.
It's breeding time, and it's very important that people do their dogs on the leash, on a
Yes.
leash,
yeah,
and stay on the
The
walking
path.
path. Yes,
yeah.
it's very important, and take their garbage home or whatever, but not in
Yeah.
nature.
This
Because
seems to be an ongoing thing, even in the city centre, people
Yeah.
leaving
yeah,
behind garbage. And now, of course, you see these mouth masks everywhere and the
yeah,
little elastic bands,
yeah,
the little animals get caught. So it's just,
yeah,
it seems so obvious, but to some
yeah,
people, it just
If you
doesn't
bring
seem
it with
obvious.
you, take it home. It's
yeah.
that
Right.
It's
simple.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy as that.
Yeah, you were able to carry it with you, so take it home. I mean,
Yes,
And of
yes,
course,
And
today is Earth Day, and Earth Day
yes,
is all about protecting the environment, how we can
exactly.
help the environment. So obviously, one of the biggest things you can do is just take your rubbish with you
yes,
and be responsible when you use any.
indeed.
yes.
I find it quite bizarre because most of the time you see a lot of leftover bottles of Coke or wine. And if you think about it, it was heavier when you brought it to the
Yeah.
park. So it's going to be
That's
lighter to take home. So
yeah, that's true.
Good point.
there's really no excuse. And it's just awful because you see terrible examples of how, animals are getting into trouble because of human garbage that's just
Yeah,
discarded. A
but
pity.
happily
Yes,
we have a
yeah,
lot of volunteers, and every day they take out the garbage out of nature. And
great.
yes, in combination of the community Maastricht and the CNME, they take away the garbage bags. So,
Excellent.
Okay.
but a lot of people help us to take away the rubbish. Yes,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's been lovely to see you and get an update on what's been going on over on St. Petersberg. Is there any events coming up before we say goodbye to you that you want to tell anybody about?
Yes, please follow us on Facebook as well. And
Ah.
Sint-Pietersberg Natuurmonumenten Sint-Pietersberg. And when we have news about eco owls, we throw it on the Facebook, of course.
Excellent.
And yes, if you want to support us, we have got this.
Oh,
And you can be a member of us. You can support
okay.
us. It's very important, even in these days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
So
And it's
people
very,
can find that on the website, can they?
Yes, you can. Yeah, whereby they call it steun ons.
yeah.
Steun is support. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, we
don't
should get.
don't have an English website, but you can.
Oh, there you go. Tracy's got hers.
Oh, you have one.
I have a
There
lady
you
card.
go.
So it's very
There you
easy.
go.
And you sign up, you donate a small amount per month. It's really not that much. And you receive some information. You receive little books like this. So there's a lot. And
You do
good
well.
practice. Yes, good practice for the Dutch as well. And also indeed supporting a very good and important cause. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, we shall get all that information out on our socials at the end of the show. It's been lovely to see you, sweetheart. Hopefully it's not going to be so long before you come back and see us again. And we look forward to seeing some pictures of the baby owls, the baby lambs, anything babyfied would be great.
Oh, you like babies, yeah.
Well, the non-human kind, anything short, small and fluffy. This is why we keep Matthew, because he's so fluffy.
He's fluffy.
We'll see you again soon. Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Next time.
Thank you, José.
Take care, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Oh, bless her.
What a nice lady.
When was the last time she was on the show?
It
I
was a
really
while
More
ago.
than a year, I reckon.
I think
No,
it's
it was last year.
yeah.
Was it last year?
Yeah, she came on. I can't remember now, but it was on when we were on Skype, so it was last year.
Was it? It's all a bit of a blur this last year, isn't it?
I know it's well anyway, yeah, but very nice and a very good. This is great. The Natuurmonumenten. They're also on Instagram, so posting a lot of nice pickies of wildlife scenes and nature stuff. So definitely worth. Don't let the language, turn you off joining. So it's definitely something everyone can do.
Absolutely. Right, time for Matt Goes Dutch. What have you got for us this week, Matt?
Well, next Tuesday it's King's Day,
It is.
so if you
Is anything happening?
It's a day off. That's
I'm going
what's
to tell you
happening.
about. Exactly, it's a day off. It's one of our only days off this week. We get very few bank holidays this year because
We do.
Christmas is on the weekend and you don't get them back in this country. Bad. Anyway, make the most of next Tuesday when you get a day off. Maybe you can take a Monday off if your colleagues are not already beating you to it. But this year, obviously, it's a bit different, King's Day, because you can't have a party. There's no drinking out on the streets and all those sort of normal things that happen. But the king will be, okay, if you don't know what King's Day is, we should start there. It's the king's
Yes.
birthday,
Yes.
and it's a national holiday, and normally everyone dresses in orange, drinks lots of beer or wine or coffee, whatever you want,
Yes.
and eats a tompouce also, covered in
An orange
accent.
one.
Orange one, yes, instead of the standard pink.
And there's normally sort of lots of flea markets where people can sell their stuff in the park. You don't need a license or anything.
It was
so normally
chaos.
it's chaos. But it's quite
Yes.
fun. You can get a good bargain, which I'm disappointed about this year because that's always fun. But yeah, so that's not happening this year. Instead, the king is visiting Eindhoven because it's supposed to be a really a digital city. So he's going to be doing stuff.
You're going to see the king.
Are you
I'm
going
not,
to
because he's going to be just stuck in the studio all day, like
Ah,
showing all this
But
technology
it's in your
stuff.
city, so I mean,
Well,
he's
he's in-
going to drive by or something.
Maybe.
No?
Yeah, I think you're not supposed to go out. But if you do
Oh,
want to
yeah,
help
that's true.
Sint-Pietersberg, you can watch him on the TV. He'll be on
Yes.
TV. And I didn't know this, but apparently at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, everybody has to hang out the window, balcony, out the front door, and sing the Wilhelmus, which is the Dutch national anthem.
Really?
And the bells across the country will ring out in tune to the Wilhelmus. So-
But there goes my sleeping.
Indeed.
Let's get up before 10.
So you best look up the lyrics, everybody, and practice your Dutch, and then you can join into this national sing-along to the national anthem.
I thought maybe listen to the anthem. This is terrible. Oh no,
Yeah.
never mind. Move on.
couldn't they pick something better to sing? I mean,
Well.
really?
Well, that's what you need to do. And then at 4:30, there's a national toast.
Ah, hurrah!
So you can join in on that as well.
That'll be the
and
tompouce beer.
That'll be the top news beer
Yeah.
from Amsterdam,
pink.
Lowlander.
Orange. Yeah.
Oh, God, orange beer. God.
Orange tompouce beer. So yeah, so there's lots going on. There's also a concert on TV in the evening from Palace Noordeinde with lots of Dutch artists. So if you want to get up on your Dutch music, you'll learn about Dutch music. That's on at 6:30. Oh no, sorry, 8 p.m. on NPO.
Oh.
You can watch it live for free. And yeah, and just enjoy your day off. Unfortunately, you can't get all the usual traditions in, but you still get a day off, which is always nice.
You do. You can still have some nice foods, and if the weather is still good, you can barbecue perhaps in the evening. So there's lots that can be done. So, and I think it's on all of the Dutch broadcasters. So Nossane and RTL, I think they're all going to have some sort of, program about it. And of course, I will be watching to see what the lovely Maxima decides to wear. I love her. Love Queen.
Everybody loves her.
Yes. So, but it will be again a different type of King's Day. But let's see something.
I believe the King was visiting the Ahoy in Rotterdam today, because of course that's where the Eurovision is going to be hosted this year. And he was having a look at the progress of the whole stage, the whole event being built. So he's well and truly up to speed. But I can tell you that next month we have Denis Kouros joining us, our man in the know as far as the Eurovision is concerned. He will actually be joining us next month.
I am not happy with the lovely Denis.
Well, Denis has got tickets. He will be live at Eurovision. He's going to be coming on the show next month. He's going to be here the week before Eurovision. He's going to give us the lowdown on absolutely everything that's going to be going on.
Have to dress up.
We will have to dress up, for sure. We will get dressed up. And just to let you know, we will actually put a link to this. He is continuously writing all the updates of Eurovision on escplus.com. So we'll put the link up for that, and you can get all the latest on Eurovision. So yes, he will be joining us next month. Very excited. He's got the very few tickets that are available for Eurovision, and he's got at least one of them. I think he probably has one for every show that's going on, knowing Denis, but we shall find out. So
well, I'm not jealous at all. Not jealous at all. At all. I don't even like Eurovision. Euro what?
Oh, Matt. We know that's a big fat lie, don't we? Well, we're coming towards the end of the show. Tracey, do you have any little titty bitties for us before we go?
I have two.
Ooh.
Number one, a reminder that most likely the terraces will open up next Wednesday. Fingers crossed. So think about your local cafes and restaurants. They're open from 12 till 6. You need to book if you want a table for lunch or a coffee or whatever. But if you can, do try to get out and support these guys if they do get the blessing to open up as of next week, Wednesday, the day after King's Day. So lots going on next week. And secondly, a small reminder, don't forget our partners, hashtag Maastricht and Meet Maastricht. Check out their socials. They've got stuff still going on. Things are slowly moving forward. So check them out. But one bit in particular from our other partner, Maastrichter.com, they're having a welcome event, Discover Maastricht. So if you're new to Maastricht or the surrounding area and you want to learn a bit more about life here and Dutch culture, etc., they're doing a sort of online expat event, which is sort of like an info session. So you can find out more details and register via their website, www.maastrichter.com. So that should be quite good.
Lovely stuff. Well, there we are. We've come to the end of the show. Thank you very much to José Hermens from Natuurmonumenten for joining us and getting us up to speed with everything that's happening over there. We've been celebrating Mother Earth Day, so we've been getting down and dirty in the earth. And I will be keeping you up to date with my seedlings. Matt's going to keep you up to date with these giant sunflowers, for goodness sake.
They'll be fully grown next week.
Oh, I expect they probably were. And Tracey is growing a jungle as we speak in her apartment. We won't be able to see her by next week. It's just going to be cutting away all the foliage.
I'm talking to you from the undergrowth. That kind of thing.
Oh, I would so love to see that. We shall be back next week. As Tracey said, if you do want to go and join your local pubs next week on the terrace, you do have to book. So do bear that in mind. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy King's Day, however you celebrate it, whether it's with beer, whether it's with tompouce, whether it's with both of them. And we shall see you next Thursday. Have a lovely week. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.